Guys, there's no doubt if England don't win the Euros, Southgate's resigning. And we already know the FA are looking for somebody, don't we? I mean, it's obvious and we know that. We hear it and we don't believe the media most of the time, but we actually do know that they've actually got the feelers out. And the bookies are already making bets on it. And top of the list is Graham Potter, and he goes, at this moment, it's Potter, Carsley, Pep, Klopp, Pochettino. Okay, let's just think about this. Graham Potter, you know, I'm sorry, this is a name that's been, you know, bandied around for ages, and it does look like he is really the favourite and he's waiting at the sidelines for his opportunity. Well, sorry, what has Graham Potter ever done? I just don't even know what he's ever done. I mean, he was an average player. He played, I think, 8 times in the Premier League for Southampton, and that was it. Otherwise, he was playing for teams. I mean, most of the games he played for were York City. I know that doesn't mean anything. You can still be an average player like the Arsene Wengers, the Alex Fergusons, the Mourinhos, and still be a good coach. But then let's look at what he's done in his coaching. And you know, he in Sweden, you know, he did really well, fantastic. Went to Swansea City, you know, nothing great there. Then went to Brighton. You know, frankly speaking, everybody goes on about how great he was there. Yeah, he improved them, but they were doing well. They were doing okay anyway. So what? Didn't win nothing. And then he went to Chelsea, absolutely made a hash of that. What are his credentials? What has he done except that he's good in front of the bloody cameras, says the right things, and is a yes man? We don't want another Southgate, for gosh sake. We don't want another Southgate, someone who's not proven. If you're going to have somebody who's not been at the top echelon of football, at least have them where they've proven in managerial terms, okay? Forget where the coaching is being done, youth coach, etc. We don't want another Southgate. Potter, forget him. Eddie Carsley is number 2. Sorry, his number 2 in the betting shops. Who the hell is Lee Carsley? Yeah, look, he was a decent Premier League player. You know, played for Everton, played for Derby. But frankly speaking, he wasn't top notch. But again, I'm saying you don't need to be top notch. But he's played Premier League. He played for Northern Ireland, not England. That's what, you know, we've all been saying we want an English person to lead it. So what are his credentials? He's done a Southgate. He's coached at youth level. He's coached the Coventry youth, and he went to sort of places like Brentford and Birmingham and Man City, and was at youth coaches there, interim managers, all of them apart from Man City. But interim manager at Birmingham and Coventry and Brentford, none of them kept him on though. They all went, if they don't think he's good enough to be their manager, why should we think he's good enough to be the England manager? And he's crawled in and got into the 2015 Specialist England youth side as a coach, and then, you know, crawled in to get into the, you know, the youth manager, because obviously Southgate and boss's name, Holland, have moved up, and it's just like one of those job for the boys where you just go up because somebody else. Who the hell? You know, he's got no credentials as a manager either. So why do we want another Southgate in? Eddie Howe, he's got proven credentials. He's done really well. But is he going to leave Newcastle? No way. Pep, forget it. Klopp, he's no way he's going to have a little time off, then maybe take Germany on at some stage. But he's not. And Pochettino, don't want him as the England manager. I seriously don't. So we're going for these blokes that are just yes men again and unproven as managers or real top quality players. We need somebody who understands the international scene. Okay, so just some thoughts, guys. What I think is you need. A lot of people won't like it, but I just remember, you know, years and years ago, you know, the England manager. What they had always was somebody like a proven international Premier League First Division coach. Don Howe was great coach. Never was manager a great manager. So they had a good England manager, and they had him as coaching, but he was too defensive. Okay, but he understood the game brilliantly. What we need is 2 people there as the manager and the coach of England who are both got some credentials. If one of them wasn't an international player, fine. If his managerial credentials are great, have him. But with him, have a coach who's got international experience. Okay, so what about these? The thoughts. Just thoughts that the FA have not even spoken about. What about Gary O'Neill of Wolves? He's young, nice ideas, doing well. I just think that's just a throw-in. Forget Wayne Rooney. I just threw him up there. Sean Dyche, good old Englishman. You know, he knows his stuff. But they wouldn't have him because of the way he talks. But you could have with him a great coach underneath, helping him with tactics and strategy. What about Michael Carrick? Man United, one of the Man United greats, underrated. And he's trying to get Middlesbrough. He's slowly learning his trade. Just some thoughts, you know, there. Tom Cleverley, not sure, but he's still young. At least they've got, you know, Michael Carrick and Sean Dyche have got, and Gary O'Neill, got managerial experience. And with them, and they're not yes men. Sean Dyche and Michael Carrick hopefully aren't yes men. I don't think Gary O'Neill is. And then with them, come on guys, stop all the chat, you pundits. Have a real international quality coach there who the players will respect. Gary Neville. Stop the talk. You got your badges. Go for it. Go and be the England assistant manager under one of the managers and show, you know, your experience, because you know what it's about. You've been there. Okay. What about Shearer? He knows it all. What about Gary Lineker? Come on, you guys, stop doing the talk. All of you actually are good pundits, really. I go on about Neville because he's biased and hypocritical, but he'd be, you know, he knows his stuff, to be honest. I just don't like the hypocrisy and the biasness. What about Martin Keown? I know a lot of you don't like him just because he's Martin Keown, you know, but have these guys with Premier League experience, with international experience as your coach, your assistant manager, and have a manager up front who's not just a yes man, but who's got some quality, you know, not Graham Potter who's a yes man, you know, or Lee Carsley. Some thoughts from you guys, but let's have two people there now who are quality, not Southgate, a yes man, and what's his name, Steve Holland, who nobody's heard of. He's always been a youth manager who's crawled his way up the ladder. It's ridiculous. Let's have people who have done it as managers and have done it as coaches on the international scene. So you've got both. So FA, stop peeing around and stop looking again at people that are just yes men. Let's go for it for this generation. This generation needs people who have got experience, who have been there, seen it, done it, may have failed, but will bloody can teach the youngsters why they've failed. All right? And people, the youngsters, you know, will have respect for, because they will have respect for people like Shearer and for Neville and for Lineker and for Martin Keown. You know, they will have it. They will have great respect for these people. Have two coaches, a defensive coach and an attacking coach. You could have Shearer and Martin Keown working together, or Lineker and Keown, or Neville and Shearer. You know, so you've got both bases filled and work together. You don't need just one sort of assistant coach. Have two of them. Just some thoughts for the FA, rather than be the same old men who do the same old thing since 1966. The only good coaches we've had, they're kicked out in the end. Glenn Hoddle, I thought was great, but they soon got rid of him because he had some funny ideas, but he was still a great coach. Venables, loved. Nigel Clough, they wouldn't even let anywhere near the seat, even though he should have got it. Anyway, that's it. Football Chat Uncensored. Reno talking. Football Chat Uncensored UK if you're YouTube. FA, let's FA Southgate after the Euros and get some quality in there for the youngsters. Bring this golden generation to win that World Cup.